Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Saturday, the 6th of September. Starting with the S&P, where we've seen the market make progress within that rising trend channel with the red floor there and the 50-day moving average. So they're around 63.40. Above that, we're looking at the top of the channel. As high as 6,700 by the end of this month, perhaps. We can remain above or stay above the 6,400 zone. The low on Friday, 64.43. So above that, looking for greater highs. The only negative at the moment is the way that we've got this resistance line, or one of the negatives, I suppose. We've got resistance line there in the RSI window, and we failed again at that near the 60 level. So we're slightly on alert for that, but at least the RSI remains above neutral 50, and that is probably the biggest plus at the moment. If there is a rug pull, it's still August support there, and the floor of the channel there, the wider line there from April, around the 6,200 zone. Next up is the Nasdaq 100, and here you can see that we're still having difficulties getting through that 2,400 level, the top of that channel there from back in April, 24,500. That's the target we're looking for, while we're above recent support around 23,000. Difficult to really tie down this market any tighter than that, despite all the AI investor warnings that we've had, etc., etc. Moving on to the stocks, and starting off with one of our favorites in the recent past, largely because it's quite a dramatic one, Concorde International. Here you can see that we had the big rug pull last month, or rather in July, and gapping up now. Still have the issue of trying to get through that 200-day moving average, $4.74. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge over the course of the rest of September, perhaps. Want to see an end-of-day close above that to then give us the chance, at least, of heading up to the 50-day line, and obviously retracing some of the massive losses that we've seen since the beginning, or at least the early part of July. Moving along to Carisma, and here you can see that we've got this rising trend channel base. We've got recent support at the floor of the channel, which is basically Friday's support there, $30. Above that, looking for the top of the range, top of the channel, as high as $72 by the end of next month. It was good that on Friday we managed to close above the 200-day line, just below $40. Interesting chart at Fangdd, where we have a situation where we've hit our first target there, around $3.40. Above that, the next level up, the upper parallel of that triangle, as high as $5.20. We're looking at that by the end of this month, while we remain above the Friday support zone around $2.80. RSI 50 rebound well above the 50 level. That also helps the cause. On to a stock which we have covered before, and it's making decent progress. Fortress Biotech, see a rising trend channel there, top of the channel there, heading for up to $4.20, which we're looking for over the next couple of weeks, while we remain above the gap floor there around 305 on an end of day close basis. Another stock which we've looked at before, HeartCore, and here you can see that after the initial surge to $1.50, we came back below the 50-day, with the 200-day moving average rather, and below the $1 level, the support there towards $75. Good to see this market now back above the 200-day moving average at 97 cents, and while we're above that, looking for a best case scenario by the end of next month as high as $2. So hopefully the HeartCore situation will be a winner. Next on the list is loanDepot, and here we've got a situation where we've had a decent spike through to the top of the range. In this case, around $3, top of the channel there, as high as $3.60, which is what we're looking for sometime during the course of September. You can see there's multiple bounces for the RSI at and above neutral 50s. That does actually suggest we could get much more out of this situation than just $3.50. Recent resistance around $2.50, and that's a stop loss on an end of day close basis. Moving along to Kodiak, which remains a decent build situation, Kodiak Sciences, and here you can see that we've got the stock within a rising trend channel, quite a steep one since the end of March. Top of the channel there, heading for the $13.20 area, something we're looking for during the course of September, while we remain above the price channel floor at around the $9 level. Well, one of the stocks of this sequence is Nova Lifestyle. You can see why we broke through the top of the rising trend channel there around $3.90. Above that, looking for $6 as soon as the end of this month, on the basis that we've got gathering momentum. We've got a strong push through RSI 50 for the situation. Upside value, at least while we hold above July resistance, $3.60. Olema is next, and here rising trend channel base, top of the channel there, heading for $11, which is what we're hoping for by the end of this month, and also hoping that we stay above the floor of the channel there, and recent broken resistance at $6.80. If we can do that, then the move towards double figures should be relatively straightforward. That was also the resistance that we had for the shares back in September, or rather December. Moving along to the last two. The first one, hopefully one which will gather more momentum. It is Pinnacle Foods. Here we've hit the top of the channel there, the rising trend channel base, $3, above $3, looking for up to $4.25 by the end of next month. Ideally, there's no break back below the old July resistance around $2.25 in the meantime. So not a bad risk reward situation there. And also we've had an RSI 50 rebound above neutral 50, so hopefully there is more gas in the tank there. Finishing off with SINTX, and here a nice rebound there. Key reversal to the upside to end the week above the Thursday resistance for the shares around $5.10. Looking for up to $9 by the end of next month, or hopefully a bit sooner than that. That's it for me today. More updates during the week.